AI's crazy, isn't it? Hello, loves. It's Manika-Nia, and today we're going to talk about AI's top 10 list for greatest movies of all time. So if you didn't know, we live in a total AI-driven world, and it is getting increasingly AI, which is pretty interesting. I won't lie to you. I have some funny conversations with ChatGPT, and one of those conversations led me down a bit of a rabbit hole, and I was interested to know AI's take on the top 10 greatest movies of all time. So let's go through them. Right. So coming in at number 10 is The Wizard of Oz, 1939.
There's no place like home.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
I actually have never seen this movie. And it's really strange because I love Judy Garland, specifically because I love Judy Garland's legacy and how she has inspired different communities, including the gays. But I never watched The Wizard of Oz. Actually, in my family, we watched The Wiz.
I'd better point you towards The Wiz.
And so there was a kind of thing, at least from my viewpoint growing up, where it was like, nah, we don't watch The Wizard of Oz, we just watch The Wiz.
Going to see The Wiz.
Cause I wake up already negative and I'm buying up my views. So don't nobody bring me.
He's the Wiz and he lives in Oz.
So I never saw it. Another thing that's really interesting about lists and what's probably going to be interesting from ChatGPT's perspective is that sometimes things are called the best just because they've been around the longest, but it might not necessarily hold up. I haven't looked at everything, so I'm just looking from the bottom up, but I bet you Gone with the Wind is on here because I've seen that with like every list. And yeah, I got some questions, but let's keep going. Number 9 is Lawrence of Arabia, directed by David Lean, 1962.
Never seen a man killed with a sword before.
Why don't you take a picture?
It's another movie I haven't seen. I can't recall his name, but I'm pretty sure I know the actor's face who stars in it.
Cassie.
Coming in at number 8, Gone with the Wind, directed by Victor Fleming.
You go. Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Victor Fleming also directed The Wizard of Oz, so I can kind of respect that because I'm someone who pretty much loves a director's work. So that's pretty respectful, Victor Fleming. But I know there's a lot of controversy with Gone with the Wind.
The film has been repeatedly protested. Producer David O. Selznick was well aware that Black audiences were deeply concerned about the film's handling of the topic of slavery and its treatment of Black characters. The film represents enslaved Black people in accordance with long-standing stereotypes, as servants, notable for their devotion to their white masters or for their ineptitude. And when Hattie McDaniel became the first African-American to receive an Oscar for her powerhouse performance as Mammy, she was not permitted to sit with the rest of the cast in the whites-only Coconut Grove Club.
I also have not seen that, but I should because it's like on every list. What's the reason? Coming in at number 7, another old film, so reinforces my thought that it's just showing up here because it's across so many lists. And maybe it's across so many lists because it's just been around for so long. Is it actually a good movie? Number 7 is Casablanca, directed by Michael Curtiz.
No. He's looking at you, kid.
I haven't seen Casablanca either. I think of myself as a bit of a movie buff. Well, I know what I like.
Drop your sword.
I know what I love. And I know what inspires me.
You put a stone in the cage.
I watch movies all the time. Series all the time.
I'm not just like the rest of you. I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better.
Which is why I was interested to do this video. But out of 4, I've seen 0. Next, coming in at number 6 is Schindler's List, directed, of course, by Steven Spielberg.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. I think I can guarantee you You'll both be in southern Russia before the end of the month.
Finally, a movie that I have seen. It took me years to watch the movie, and I agree, it was really good. Really good. Amazing film. Let's move to number 5. Aha! Number 5 is Pulp Fiction, of course, by Quentin Tarantino. This one is from 1994.
But what is significant is I felt the touch of God.
Absolute belter of a film. I love Pulp Fiction. I pretty much love a great mini Quentin Tarantino films. He's one of those directors that I've probably seen most of his work that's come out. Pulp Fiction is not my favorite of Tarantino films, though. Have a guess what my favorite film is. Type it in the comments. At the halfway point, there has so far been all white directors and mostly white cast with non-white supporting actors, and of the non-white being black. Humankind is really interesting. As time progressed, when we talked about diversity, it was almost with tokenism. So there'd be the token black person in movies that we saw from my memory from the 90s up. Doing this is really interesting. Are the rest going to be any different? Comment your guess right now. Okay, then at number 4, very specifically, is The Godfather Part 2, 1974, directed by Francis Ford Coppola.
My offer is this. Nothing.
I've not seen any of the Godfathers. Good one on the list. Which one is your favorite Godfather if you have one? Then at number 3, we have Shawshank Redemption, directed by Frank Darabont. This one is 1994, just like Pulp Fiction. A lot of amazing films came out in 1994.
Get busy living. You get busy dying.
Shawshank Redemption, I love. I think it deserves a place in the top spot. What about you? Coming in at number 2 is Citizen Kane, 1941, directed by Orson Welles.
If you could have found out what that rosebud meant, I bet that would have explained everything.
I have not seen Citizen Kane, but I am a huge fan of Archer, and because they reference it, I just know of it. And without further ado, dun 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 dun, the number 1 film designated by AI is The Godfather, 1972, directed by Francis Ford Coppola.
I never wanted this for you. I worked my whole life. I don't apologize to take care of my family, and I refused to be a fool.
This project and this video came about really because I was interested to know what AI's take on the top movies of all time would be. And I was eager to know if I was in fact the movie aficionado that I thought myself to be. But the result of doing this video created questions that I didn't even consider before diving in. We all know that our world is pretty and we know that we have come a long way, and there's also a long way to go if we're lucky. But what this exercise with AI did for me was reinforce the perplexing nature of it all. There's been a popular agenda in our world for a long time. And we know it's popular because those with the power or the majority have perpetuated it across the globe. And when we look at cinema, we can see this agenda. So we just went through this top 10 list of greatest movies of all time. Every director was a white director. Most of the stars were white actors. And then the supporting cast had Morgan Freeman and Sam Jackson and Hattie. Sure, AI is a collective of what's out there. I get that. But my thought is that not a problem for us, the human race? Will AI perpetuate what's always been? Maybe I'm thinking too deeply about this, but I'm thinking about it. I'm wondering about it. So we hope that we're creating this super intelligent entity, computer, android, robot, whatever. But if AI is just created in the image of us as humanity, and if what is majorly available or historically there in humanity is this all-white world, I think it's dangerous. I did have a little chat with ChatGPT about this, and they did recognize the bias and that it's to do with programming. So maybe there is hope. Anyway, there's the top 10 greatest movies of all time by AI. What y'all think? Until next time, love ya. Bye.